Hello, and welcome to Typing Agent. We're so glad that you've chosen to embark your students on our state-of-the-art typing curriculum, where students will learn to type and love the fun that they'll be having. Today, we're going to go over the very basics of what it means to be a district administrator and all of the neat things you can do with the program. First things first, when you log into your Typing Agent account, the first thing you'll see is this page right here. This is called your dashboard. From your dashboard, as the name suggests, you can navigate virtually anywhere in the program with just a few simple clicks. If at any point you'd like to return to this page, go ahead and click the logo up here. So to the right of that logo, you'll find your search bar. Now, upon clicking here, you'll be able to filter your search results for schools, staff, classes, or students. You'll also see the 4 icons of those next to it. If you know exactly who or what you're searching for, you can go ahead and type in the name. Otherwise, feel free to select one of the icons to restrict your search to the type of what you're looking for. Now all the way over here, you have a Demo Student button. This handy feature is designed to let you, the administrator, preview everything we have to offer from a student's eyes. As you can see, everything's already unlocked and open, and you can navigate to virtually any lesson and see exactly what a student does. Please note that this is definitely what we recommend if you'd like to test anything. This account does not impact any of your existing students' grades or progress. When you're done, hit Return to Admin to go back to where you were before. Now, over here you've got your name. You might notice that it's a drop-down menu and a list of options that you can access. So under My Profile, this is where you can change your username, title, password, and the language your interface appears in. Under Account, you can easily view your license account usage, your expiration date, your point of contact for renewal, and your district information. Again, you have another option in the drop-down to view the Demo Student account. This is to really drive home the fact that if you'd like to test, please use this account. It's so important that we just had to include it twice. Underneath that, you've got easy access to our Solution Center from anywhere in the program. Underneath that, you'll find the Logout button, which will, as it suggests, log you out of the program. Okay, let's go ahead and click that logo and go back to the dashboard. Now, the first thing you'll see are these big numbers 1 through 4. The reason for this is because this is where you'll go to upload your data with CSV files. Please note that while a CSV file isn't always mandatory, schools, staff, classrooms, then students is the order that any data needs to be uploaded in. If you're rostering with Clever or ClassLink, you'll probably only notice a 1. The reason for this is because your schools, staff, classrooms, and students are being pulled in through your chosen system. That being said, school administrators will need to be uploaded with a CSV file, and unlike those who aren't using a rostering service, this is the only way accounts with that role can be added in. Again, if you're just starting from scratch, not using any rostering service, you don't have to use a CSV file to upload. You can do it one by one, or have your teachers and students register themselves into the program. If you create your students with the same usernames and passwords as their Google accounts, you can also enable Google Single Sign-On. But if you've got a long list of schools and personnel to add, long CSV files will probably be your best method. Additionally, if you create your CSV files with staff and students with their usernames as their Google email addresses and their passwords as their Google passwords, you can still use Google Single Sign-On. So, when you click on any of these numbers, you'll find some specific steps to upload your CSV file into the program. I'm going to go step by step here because there are little nuances to be aware of. Please note that your school, staff, classroom, and student CSVs all needed to be uploaded in the proper place and will all be formatted a little differently than from one another. This is because we need different information to set up everything accordingly. Also, please remember to save your CSV file as UTF-8. This will help format everything correctly for the most seamless upload. So let's first take a look at uploading schools. You can even come down here and download a sample CSV so that you understand the formatting, and then you can just fill it in here. The sample CSV is available for all school, staff, class, and student upload portals, And since each of them are a little different, make sure you've got the right format. For schools, it's important to know that you'll need to create a 6-digit school code. Remember that school code because you'll be using it later on. When you've uploaded your schools, you'll want to go back to the dashboard and then go to Select to upload your staff. Before we go any further, I'd like to go over the roles in Typing Agent. You are a district admin. What that means is that you can create multiple district administrators, school administrators, or teachers. Here are the roles that we have outlined right here. Please note that while you can create multiple district administrators, only one can be the master account holder. District administrators will see the exact same interface as you do and will have access to all schools and all accounts in your district. School administrators can only access their own school and teachers and students' accounts within that school. Teachers can only access their own and their students' accounts and can only view their classes and their rosters. Now up here, we've got a little legend of the correct codes to put in for your staff roles, so please note that if you'd like to create another district administrator, you'll use dadmin, school administrator, you'll use sadmin, and then teacher is just teacher. So be sure to assign your staff to a proper role. So remember that school code you made? This is one of the places that you'll enter it in. If you've got staff who teach at multiple buildings, you'll be able to adjust that later on. Now, let's go back to the dashboard and upload your classrooms. When uploading your classrooms, you'll be asked to generate a class code. Note that this is optional. You can leave it blank. Typing Agent will generate one for you. You will, however, need that school code once again to let us know which school your class is in. If you leave it blank, you'll have to check school management before you can move on to the next step. So we recommend filling one out yourself if you're going in order. That way, when you upload your students, then you'll be able to set them to a specific class. Finally, all right, the moment we've all been waiting for, time to upload your students. Let's go back to the dashboard. Then select Upload Students. Now, unlike teachers, students can only be at one school. While you can assign them immediately to a classroom with that code that we looked at, you'll be able to enroll them in multiple later on. If you leave the class code blank, they'll be categorized as unassigned. It's not recommended you do this. Please also note that if you've got kindergartners, you'll want to set the grade to 0 instead of K. It needs to be an integer, so that's why we have that there. So now if you've got your data all loaded in, we can move on. Let's go ahead and click that logo again to go back to the dashboard. So underneath all of that, we've got these areas of the program: school management, user management, reporting, curriculum, and the Solution Center. Let's go explore school management first. So when we click on this, the first thing you'll see is a list of all the schools you've uploaded. This is also where you can go if you choose to add in your schools one by one or by uploading a CSV. Additionally, you can export them to a CSV to download by clicking this download arrow right here. Something I'd also like to point out is that you've got two student counts, allocated and actual. Allocated means that this is how many licenses that you have available for students at this school. Actual students are how many are actually using the program. This can help if you're looking to cut costs and buy only what you need, getting a better idea of who's actually using it. Now, if you select one school, you'll notice that you've got the options to view the classrooms, staff, and students in it, reset the school for a new year, clear the roster, and unassign all your students from their classrooms, edit the school's information, or delete it altogether. If you select multiple schools, like we're going to do right here, you've got the same options except for viewing classrooms and editing specific school information. But this does allow you to view rosters of multiple schools at a time, as well as clear them or reset them for a new year. So moving on to the Classrooms tab, we've got the same format going on. Again, you can select the plus button to upload your classrooms with a CSV or one by one, and you have the arrow up here to export these to a CSV file you can download. If we select a class, we can view the staff and students, clear the roster, and unassign the students, edit the specific information, or delete it altogether. If we select multiple, we can do all but edit specific information. Under the Time Settings tab, you'll set your district's time zone, your school hours, as well as the current school year. Then, under the Permissions tab, you'll set limitations or grant access to staff to be able to alter areas of the program, like assigning curriculums, adding in students, and changing accommodations. Under the Grade Settings tab, you'll be able to select the grade level and then curate the experience for students in that grade level. This might include which curriculums they get by default, or whether or not they'll get a placement test or be able to play games by default when they type. The gradebook is a handy feature that allows you to set what constitutes an A, B, C, or any other things that you'd like to set up for your grading criteria. When you select a grade, you can edit this for that grade level specifically. Additionally, we've included a calculator tool that you can access by clicking this calculator button. This will help you to calculate specific grades. Now under the Target Settings tab, this is going to allow you to again select a grade level, and then there you can set the expectations for 1, 2, or 3 stars. Stars are determined by both words per minute and accuracy, and allow students to progress, with 1 star being the lowest passable, 2 stars being the median, and 3 stars being the highest. You can also determine how many stars a student will need in order to move on. We really like to recommend that students should earn at least 2 stars, no max retries. This is the most pedagogically sound option that will allow your students to really learn what's going on with those lessons. Up at the Grade Level Scheduled Test tab, we'll see this. Grade level scheduled tests are a handy feature that allow you to assign a custom test to an entire grade level. You can create your own content, set a time limit, and create a due date, as well as adjust the day or days that it will be available to your students to take. This is where you will create tests and view the progress of the students who have taken them. Finally, your district portal is where you will go to customize your district's typing agent page, as well as add options for teacher and student self-registration and single sign-on. Okay, pop quiz. Remember how to get back to the dashboard? If you guessed the logo, you're most certainly right. Now, we're going to go ahead and explore user management. When you select user management, the first thing you'll see is a roster of your staff. When you select the checkbox of next to any staff or student, you can edit their specific information, log in as them, reset the password, or delete them entirely. Selecting multiple allows you to do all, but edit specific information. Now, if you'd like to add staff or students, instead of that green plus button, you've got a handy Add Students and Staff button right up here. This is where you can go to add them by CSV file or one by one. So, looking over here at the right side, we see this graph up here. This percentage bar is a legend of your license usage. The green portion represents how many assigned students are occupying licenses. The blue portion represents free space. The yellow portion represents students who are unassigned, which means students who don't belong to any classroom and really are just taking up licenses. So below that, we've got these 3 buttons here. The pen and paper icon will unassign all students. The down arrow will allow you to export to a CSV file to download. The filter button is where you can curate this list to filter by role, by staff role, by students, and unassigned students. So now that you know who is using the program, let's go back to the dashboard. And then we're going to go to the reporting section to see how they're using it. The 4 windows up here will show you average minutes typed by students per week, average lessons completed by students per week, average percentage of the students in your account who are actually logging in and using the program, and then a progress report, which will show you the weekly activity average of each grade level. The graph will show you the usage month by month, and scrolling down, you'll be able to generate a myriad of customized reports to find the exact information that you need. If you'd like to see all the curriculums that are available to your student in a more teacher-friendly format that you can copy and paste, go back here to the dashboard and then to Curriculums. Now here you can select any curriculum by clicking this folder or the Lessons button. Now you can select a lesson to view its contents. This is going to be in plain text format. It can be really handy if you're trying to decide which grade level you'd like to copy and paste and put it elsewhere, or you can decide whether or not this is suitable for the grade level that you set it as. Last but most certainly not least, you'll find on our dashboard our Solution Center right next to the curriculums. This is where you go should you have any more questions or to find any specific information on what we've covered today. Our Solution Center is always growing to better suit your needs and answer any questions that you might have. You can always check out the rest of our YouTube channel for plenty of helpful videos to guide you along. If you find that you're still confused, you can always reach out to support via the chat or by emailing us at support@typingagent.com. We hope that your students really learn to type and love the fun while they're doing so.